What's up, everybody? It's Soundwave Spectre here, and so Operation Harsh Doorstep just released on early access for reasons I cannot really understand. People are really up in arms about it. So if you haven't heard about it, Operation Harsh Doorstep, or OHD, is a new free tactical shooter out there, and it's been getting put through the ringer in terms of criticism for its lack of some features and polish at the moment. A little background here is that this is the passion project of a pretty big YouTuber, BlueDrake42. I'll link his channel in the description below. He and his community, with some Patreon support, made a game devoid of not only like battle passes and microtransactions, but no monetization whatsoever. The game's completely free. You know, monetization is kind of a plague that's kind of affecting every aspect of the industry and this beloved hobby of ours. Even the more egregious games like, Overwatch with its loot boxes has somehow become worse with $10 battle passes and $20 skins now. So BlueDrake and his community made this game as an answer to try and save our hobby that seems to be losing its soul kind of day by day. And oddly enough, the feedback is like pretty mixed, if not negative. To the point where BlueDrake had to release a video on give constructive criticism. And like straight up, the Steam was banning people in the Steam forums for just being hateful. This is wild. So I'm here to give you guys my honest impressions so far and hopefully help you guys sift through the hate to see if the game is worth the download for you at this time. So the first things first, remember that the game is A, free, and B, in early access. So games that are paid in early access come out just as broken, if not in worse states all the time. So I don't know why the fact that it's free, maybe just more people are getting to it. I don't know. Does this absolve the game of any of its faults? Maybe not, but I think it's just important to consider and adjust your expectations when you're going into this game. The game is a solid tactical shooter with guns that feel pretty good and have real impact on the enemies. When you get a squad of people that are actually talking and communicating, I feel like the game's fantastic. It's got such great potential in those moments. It's got proximity chat as well as squad comms, and it brings me back to the old days of playing like MAG. I love that game so much. I've always missed that game, and I don't know, I couldn't really get my friends to deep dive with me into squad or Arma or Insurgency even. So this free game has the great ease of entry that just gets me to like convince my friends to come in with me and give it a shot. Sure, it might not be as in depth as the others that are mentioned, but it's enough of a serviceable experience to just grab a bunch of buddies and hop in a server. Now, speaking of servers, that's where my biggest complaint of the game comes in. Unless you play a single player mode where the bots really could use a buff in difficulty, you have to pay for servers. Now, that's not on its own anything I'm vehemently against, to be honest, especially since the game is free. There are a bunch of servers already up from people hosting them, and they're pretty populated at this point. In about 10 hours I've played so far. The problem I have is the game is supposed to be built on building a community and all the modding and everything working together. And as much as I love to set up my own server with my Discord community, link in the description below, get a chance to win free video games by in there. What's to lose? But like for small communities that are trying to get things started, it's pretty pricey. Server hosting is, I guess, never really cheap, and the cheapest I remember ever seeing was probably like EA doing the $1 rent a servers for a day. But the lowest option physically possible right now is for a 16-person server for $20 for a month. Like, I would love to set up like a massive co-op, like milsim experience, something along the lines like what Karma Cut does on Arma. I love those videos. And I would love to set something up with us, my own little corner of YouTube here and try something. But for the free game, it's not really free anymore. And I just wish there was like a daily or weekly option or something to mitigate the cost, because you'll be paying a lot for a server you're not using for that entire time. Co-op is my favorite way to play video games, and I've been having a lot of fun joining the servers and chatting with people, but the bots are a little too easy. I'm thinking compared to like the co-op in like 2017 Battlefront 2, where things could get really tough. You could really be backed into a corner. Uh, right now in OHD, we have not even come close to losing once in all the games I've played. The PvP is great. Advanced and Secure is kind of like Rush, just but opposing forces. It's pretty fun. But because you can't spawn at the in contention bases, there's a lot of running around. There's a lot of running back to bases, and I don't think that's necessarily a problem, personally. I just know I have a lot of friends who were getting upset with like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2022's invasion mode because of the amount of running to get back to base. Now, that comes down to your mil sim versus your arena shooter kind of balance and preference. So I'm not saying that's a downside. I'm just saying that's something to consider for sure. In comparison to invasion mode, this is far worse. This is a lot more running. It takes a lot longer to get where your teammates are. But again, just food for thought for you. I think the game plays well enough. Certain things like peeking and throwing equipment or vaulting over could use some tweaking. The latter being the most. Your guy does not vault over cover like he's being shot at. But none of these are game breaking at all. I've seen people complaining about the gun sounds. I don't know. I feel like the sound design is informative enough. I enjoy it. Some people think it should be a little more kick. You do have to turn voice chat dialogue up to max for some reason. Be careful if you're streaming it, because there are people who are always playing Fortunate Son on the Vietnam levels, which is fine by me. It's worth the demonetization, I think. So I've very much enjoyed my time with it so far. I do kind of suck at it right now if you watch my streams, but I still had a blast, especially memeing over voice chat. I love hearing people blast Fortunate Son. It's just fantastic. It was a great time. It was a fun time. If you guys give it an honest shot, like, sure, at this current state, you probably won't be playing it for years and years and years. But the game has great potential, especially the game has been made with modding in mind from the very start. So much that if a mod actually does well enough, BlueDrake has even said he's going to take them on to the community, like onto the dev team, and work to use them and develop the game further. It's great. It great potential, I think. Right now the game's got nowhere to go but up. But on that note comes one little aspect that it's a little dangerous, is that since the keys kind of have been given to the community, the source code is out there. There's been a bunch of hacking going on. Let me tell you, though, I haven't seen too many. And I mean, I don't understand who's got the small PP energy, like, to hack in a game that doesn't have stats or rankings or achievements or anything. But it's there. As food for thought. It is there. And yeah, they're working on an anti-cheat solution already. They already addressed that this is something that's on the priority list because it's such a problem. But, like, Warzone's raking in millions of dollars and they still can't handle their cheating problem. So I'm not really going to hold this community against, like, hold this against the game. I don't think it's that big of an issue yet. I've only ran into, like, maybe 2 aimbotters and one guy, he switched from the Vietnamese to Taliban. So he was the only guy with an RPG on the map, but like, you know, they lost tremendously anyway, so it didn't even make a difference. So all in all, though, join my Discord. We'll play together sometime. I've played this game every day since it's come out, and I would love to hop in a squad with you guys. Maybe run my own event someday. That'd be awesome. So give the video a like. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the game so far, and subscribe for the next video. I'm Soundwave Spectre, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.